Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Gary Franchi reporting from the White House today, and what I'm about to show you is the kind of corruption that should have every American demanding answers. Ilhan Omar's husband runs a company claiming to manage $60 billion, $60 billion. But when a journalist actually went to find their office, they don't exist. This is fraud on a scale that will make your jaw hit the floor. Now, look, we've been telling you for years that Ilhan Omar was dirty. The payments to her husband's consulting firm, the campaign finance violations, the marriage to her own brother to commit immigration fraud. We told you all of it. And what did the mainstream media do? They called us conspiracy theorists. They called us racist. They protected her. Well, folks, the receipts are coming in, and they can't hide this anymore. This isn't just about one corrupt congresswoman. This is about a system that lets connected insiders steal your money while they lecture you about fairness. COVID relief funds meant for struggling businesses, they took it. Campaign cash, they funneled it. And now a ghost company claiming $60 billion in assets. The American people deserve to know where their money went. And you know, speaking of things that actually work versus things that are complete scams, for years my wife struggled with chronic pain and anxiety, endless appointments, little relief. It was heartbreaking to watch. Then we discovered red light therapy through Jonathan Otto. Everything changed. Her pain eased, anxiety lifted, and she finally sleeps and feels like herself again. I felt stronger and more energized too. Backed by NASA research and FDA cleared, it supports pain relief, inflammation reduction, and recovery. Our personal setup delivers powerful, proven wavelengths for real results at home. Skip expensive clinic visits and invest in your health. Check out myredlight.com and use code NNN for savings today. Now, let me get back to exactly what we're dealing with here, because, folks, this Omar situation, no longer speculation. We've got the video, we have the federal records, we have a journalist who walked right into the building where this $60 billion company supposedly operates and found nothing. And I'm going to show you exactly what's happening. First, I want you to see this report. It breaks down the federal records, the PPP money, the COVID relief cash that went straight into Omar's husband's pockets. Charles Payne from Fox Business gets into the numbers, and what he reveals about these so-called insiders feeding at this trough, well, you just got to watch this.
Meanwhile, federal records reveal Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's husband got more than $600,000 in coronavirus relief money for his political consulting firm, on top of the millions that his company received from her election campaign. Charles Payne is host of Making Money on the Fox Business Network. He joins us now. Charles, you'll have to explain this one to me. We'll put it up on the screen. This is the E Street Group, receiving in total $634,900 in funds. PPP, $134,000 of that. Disaster loans, $500,000. Why?
You know, the big knock against the whole PPP program was that 1% of the recipients got 25% of the money, and often they were very well connected, very rich people or organizations. And there's no doubt that's true. There was a sort of sense of urgency, though, to get the money out, hoping that if there were flaws, at least it would help the most the ones who were in the most dire need of the cash. And a lot of it did. They're going to have another chance to do it again and probably be more tailored or more specific. But this just kind of speaks to sort of these insiders who have the ability to take advantage of these sort of things all the time. And then, of course, this particular group of people, it's so bad in the sense that, Sandra, they're always knocking everything, right? They knocked everything that President Trump did. They always knock America. They always talk about how unfair everything is. And here they are feeding at the trough when other people really needed this money more desperately because they knew how to get it, so they did.
That firm was also paid more than $2 million since the start of the year, Charles, from Omar's campaign for digital advertising, fundraising, consulting, website production. She announced last month, I should mention, in November, that her campaign was terminating its contract with that firm because of all the scrutiny that she was receiving over those payments.
Yeah, but no money's going to be returned. I mean, listen, services were delivered, but this is something people were talking about, this cozy relationship, long before November. She had a chance to take care of it then. She did not. It was too much money, millions of dollars. It was too much to ignore. They took it. They'll take a little bit of scrutiny. It won't be a lot. The media will not focus on it. It will go away. But the bottom line is America's distrust in the public, America's distrust in media. This is why both are in free fall.
Did you catch that? $634,000 in COVID relief, PPP loans, disaster money, and he nailed it. These are the same people who constantly knock America and knock everything President Trump did. Talk about unfair, how unfair the system is. And they're feeding at the trough while actually struggling businesses get nothing. Hypocrisy, absolutely staggering. But folks, that's just the money that we knew about. Wait until you see what a journalist just uncovered. Oh, we're going to show it to you because this investigation from journalist Angela Rose, she went into Washington, D.C. to find the headquarters of Rose Lake Capital, the company co-owned by Omar's husband that claims to manage $60 billion in assets. What she found when she walked through that building, well, you just have to see this for yourself. Watch.
We're in Washington, D.C. because people are tired of the strongly worded letters and never-ending investigations. So in this video, we're going to be infiltrating Ilhan Omar's sketchy consulting headquarters that claims that they have $60 billion in assets under their management, yet they are located out of a co-working place called WeWork. This company is called Rose Lake Capital, and it is co-owned by Ilhan Omar's husband, Tim Mynett. And similar to the winery, in 2023, it made up to $51,000, and it had a sudden and very suspicious increase in net worth up to $30 million in 2024.
Are you trying to meet with them, or what is
So in this video, we're going to see if they have an office. We're going to look for any signs to see if they're actually operating out of here, because this is their only dedicated address. This is the only address that is connected to this multi-tens of millions dollars worth of investment firm. Alex? Is there an Alex?
It took visiting this place to realize that Tim Mynett also had E Street Group registered at this WeWork place. And by the end of this video, you will find out how they made $3 million. Spoiler alert, it was super illegal.
All right, guys, we are in and one step closer to uncovering this $30 million mystery. I went up to the little tablet and I started to search their directory, and nothing came up for Rose Lake Capital, nor for Tim or his business partner, Will Haler. And even if those people weren't on there, it is very strange that Rose Lake Capital, investments, nothing was showing up for those key terms. So I'm going to try my hardest to look for any clues or signs that an office could be operating here. It is very normal to put your business sign on the door.
I walked by every single office in this building, and everyone has their logos proudly displayed on the wall. I asked around for Rose Lake Capital and people were not familiar with it. I looked at every logo and Rose Lake Capital did not have an office here. That means they are using it exclusively for mailing or just for meeting spaces. Despite being such a large company, you would think that they would have teams and entire infrastructures or even an entire suite on Wall Street. In fact, if Rose Lake Capital wanted to grow, being here would be a great opportunity as it would open them up to so many potential clients. I did find one pretty strange looking office here though.
District of Columbia Democratic Party. Interesting. It's like the only desk that's like a complete and utter mess. Blind Americans and Goldilocks Planet. We already exposed Ilhan Omar's winery for not having a physical location or any way to purchase wines online, despite them having a very high net worth of $5 million. But this right here is massive because this is where a majority of their net worth comes from. $30 million of a company working out of this co-working space. I'm already starting to see a lot of correlations like we did with the winery. For example, Rose Lake Capital has very, very little public information. They're very secretive, despite saying that they want to have a website that gives an accessible experience online for investors and the general public. Yet that is just complete BS, because on their website they don't have links to anything besides the terms and services and a LinkedIn profile that is no longer active. And when you click on the contact form, that page has also been removed.
It really feels like it's chasing after the wind, because you cannot find any information about any clients that they have ever had online. And so you would think there'd be something for them at their headquarters. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. This company doesn't even exist anymore, and they changed its name to Rose Lake. And when that company owed $403,000 in back taxes, they also shut it down. Dear Ethics Committee,
She walked every floor, checked every office, searched the directory, asked around, nothing. No Rose Lake Capital, no signs, no logos. A company claiming $60 billion in assets operating out of a WeWork that doesn't actually exist there. And then she found out Tim Mynett's other company, Eastry Group, was registered at the same ghost address. You see, this is textbook fraud. Now let's put all this together, because the full picture is even worse than you think. And here's what we're looking at, folks. Ilhan Omar's husband takes over $600,000 in COVID relief for a consulting firm. That same firm gets millions from her campaign. Then suddenly, a company he co-owns claims $60 billion in assets, jumps from $50,000 to $30 million in supposed net worth in 1 year. And when a journalist shows up, nobody's there. There's no office, there's no sign, there's no record of them in the building. It's not sloppy bookkeeping. It's a criminal enterprise operating in plain sight, while this woman sits in the United States Congress lecturing Americans about morality. See, the Trump administration needs to unleash the DOJ on this. Every single financial record, every transaction, every shell company, the American people were told the system would protect them during COVID, and instead connected insiders like the Omars robbed them blind. This is why we do what we do here at the Next News Network. See, the mainstream media won't touch this. They'll call it a conspiracy theory until the indictments drop, but you deserve the truth. So share this video with everyone you know and comment below, do you think Omar should be investigated? Subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss these stories that they don't want you to see. I'm Gary Franchi. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.